Will the Canon EOS R1 and the Canon EOS R5 Mark II get improved sensor detection accuracy? Has Canon found a way to reduce stray light from the fabrication process, delivering better low light performance, dynamic range, and color accuracy? Stick around after this short message for everything we know. But first, subscribe to this channel for a chance to win a Canon EOS R5. I'll be giving one away to one lucky subscriber once this channel reaches 100,000 subscribers. Anyone above the age of 18 with a valid mailing address is eligible. Additional terms and conditions are linked in the description down below. Canon filed a Japanese patent application, JP 2023-160-135, on April the 21st, 2022, but it was only published on November the 2nd, 2023. As it takes time to develop a patent filing and of course the technology behind it, it's likely that Canon's been working on this technology, this patent filing, for about 3 to 4 years before it got published. The patent identifies that stray light on the light receiving element of the sensor can reduce the detection accuracy of the sensor, affecting image quality as well as the focus system. Developing integrated circuits is definitely a complicated process and also costly. The patent application addresses the chip fab process where the substrate and resist are laid down. Canon explains the problem that covering the substrate surface with a black resist in order to prevent the stray light from entering the light receiving element of the sensor is accomplished by covering the substrate surface with a light shielding paint or silk. However, during the chip fabrication process, Canon explains that there may be a portion of the chip where the substrate isn't fully covered with that light shielding paint. This results in a gap that allows stray light to reduce detection accuracy. And this is where the patent filing JP 2023-160135 claims to solve. And while the patent does go into excruciating detail, I'm not going to go into a deep dive into chip fabrication technologies, where channels like Branch Education or Asianometry go into detail explaining the chip fabrication process of etching, depositing, doping, and applying the interconnects. What I do is I go through all those patent applications to identify problems that Canon solved that can impact future products, and how these improvements, how they've solved it, can result in better products, improved products that are going to be released over the next 6 to 12 months. This patent application illustrates how Canon's found a way to solve the problem of stray light reducing light detection accuracy of the sensor. Improving the sensor's light detection accuracy is code for improving low light performance, which leads to improving dynamic range as well as color accuracy. And those are pretty big deals. That's what we're looking forward to seeing in new coming cameras from Canon, is constantly improving low light performance, dynamic range, reducing the noise floor. It all goes to allowing us to get better shots in more challenging lighting conditions. And if you've been wondering about the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, the Canon EOS R1, or other future Canon cameras, I would predict that improving low light accuracy on the sensor is something that we'll see in new sensors, specifically for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, as well as the Canon EOS R1. Now, both of these two cameras are rumored to be getting a stacked sensor. Canon put a stacked sensor in the Canon EOS R3, and one of the things that that sensor architecture allows us to do is improve low light performance, dynamic range, and color accuracy. And of course, the stacked part of that allows us, because you're putting high-speed dynamic RAM on the chip, on the sensor, well, you can move a whole lot more information a whole lot quicker, reducing things like rolling shutter. And while I see a lot of people saying that Sony has absolutely leapfrogged the competition, that they've knocked it out of the park with their global shutter sensor, that 24.6 megapixel sensor on the Sony A9 Mark III, well, it is an improvement in the technology. We've had global shutters and stacked sensors around for a long time, and I don't really see Canon putting a global shutter in the Canon EOS R1 or the Canon EOS R5 Mark II. There's a problem with resolution and being able to get all that information off the chip fast enough. And while the A9 III is able to do it, it's also dealing with 24.6 megapixels. At around 45, 50, 60, or even higher megapixels, I don't think the global shutter technology is quite there yet. And I think for Canon, it makes more sense to put a stacked sensor in there. A stacked sensor that already improves low light performance, dynamic range, and color accuracy, with this new patent application, can take that and push it just a little bit further. I've seen rumors of Canon technology coming out for the cinema line, increasing dynamic range to 16 plus stops, 17 or even 20 stops. And the only way to get there is through constant innovation and improvements in technology of the sensor accuracy for light gathering and reducing gaps so you don't have that light bleed. And yeah, I do think that we're going to see the technology from this in upcoming Canon cameras. And while we're not getting a whole lot of leaked specifications on the Canon EOS R1 or the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, or even the cinema version of the R5, well, what I love about patent applications is it actually shows that work Canon has done themselves on research and development over the last 3 to 4 years, and they've put this out. They've published this information themselves, so we're actually getting a glimpse into what Canon has actually been working on. There's no rumor here. This is actual fact. The only question I would ask you is, what do you think the probability of this technology showing up in the R5 Mark II, the R5C Mark II, the R1, or any other new Canon cameras coming out over the next couple of years? Well, I've already answered that question myself. I do think that we're going to see improved dynamic range, low light performance, and color accuracy, and I believe this patent's going to be part of that. The technology that Canon's learned, we're going to see in the R1 and the R5 Mark II. But now if you could just do me one favor. If you're looking at purchasing any camera gear, lenses, or accessories from B&H, Adorama, or Amazon, then please consider using my affiliate links down below in the description, because I get a small commission back, anywhere from 2 to 10% back. Sometimes it's as high as 12%, and it doesn't cost you anything, but those funds really do help this channel grow. I've already pre-ordered the Canon RF 200 to 800 millimeter. I'm going to be buying the Canon EOS R5 Mark II. I already have a pre-order. There's nothing announced yet, but I've already gone to my local camera store and said, I want to be one of the first. And of course, the Canon EOS R1, I'll be buying that as well. And honestly, I couldn't do that without you and your support. For everybody that has used my affiliate links in the past, thank you so much. It's really appreciated, especially as we come up to year end. There's so many specials going on, making it easy to purchase gear, but also they like to pad things, and sometimes they boost that basic level compensation or commission on sales from around 2 and 3% up to 6 or even higher. And if you want to stay up to date on all the minor news and rumors, not only the big news and rumors, then go ahead and follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm always tweeting information out, sales information or video information, all sorts of news all day long. Whereas this channel, I can only put out around 1 to 3 videos each day. After that, well, YouTube isn't going to notify you. They think, you know what, 3's more than enough for anybody. If you're going to put out any more videos, we're not telling anyone. Anyhow, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon.